Good morning everyone. Now the topic is the parotid gland. The parotid gland is the largest salivary gland. The shape of the parotid gland is inverted pyramidal shape. The weight of the parotid gland is 25 grams. Then the parotid gland is situated over the parotid region. The parotid region is the fascial line space. Then the boundary of the parotid region. This is the parotid region. The boundary of the parotid region, anteriorly the parotid region is bounded by the posterior border of the ramus of the mandible and the muscle attached to this, the masseter and the medial pterygoid muscle. Then the posterior boundary of the parotid region is posteriorly the mastoid process and the muscle the sternomastoid. Then superiorly the parotid region is bounded by the external acoustic meatus and the posterior part of the temporomandibular joint. Then inferiorly the parotid region is bounded by the posterior belly of the digastric and the stylohyoid muscle. And medially the parotid region, the boundary is the medially the styloid process and the styloid groups of muscles. So this space is the parotid region or the mold or bed of the parotid gland. Then this is the parotid gland. The overall shape is the inverted pyramidal shape. Then the covering of the parotid gland. The parotid gland is covered by the inner true capsule and the outer false capsule. Then the inner capsule of the parotid gland is the condensation of the fibrous stroma of the parotid gland, and the false capsule is the splitting of the investing layer of the deep cervical fascia. There are two lamellae for the false capsule. The superficial lamellae, this is tough, and this superficial lamellae is attached to the lower border of the zygomatic arch, and it is continuous with the epimysium of the masseter muscle. So form the parotidomasseteric fascia, and this fascia is tough. Then the deep lamellae. The deep lamellae of the false capsule is attached to the tympanic plate and the styloid process and form the styloid mandibular ligament, because this ligament is attached from the styloid process to the angle of the ramus of the mandible. The angle of the mandible to the styloid process. So this ligament is called the stylomandibular ligament. And the stylomandibular ligament divide the parotid gland from the submandibular gland. Then the presenting parts. The presenting parts, see, this is the downward, this is the apex, and upward this is the concave base. So the downward is the apex and upward is the base. And the borders, this is the anterior border of the parotid gland, this is the medial border of the parotid gland, and this is the posterior border of the parotid gland. So the borders are the anterior border, the medial border and the posterior border. So the surfaces are the superficial or the lateral surfaces, the anteromedial surfaces and the posteromedial surfaces. Then the anatomical position. The point for the anatomical positions, the tapering apex will be downward, the base will be upward. See, this is the lobule of the ear and this is the external acoustic meatus. So the base present towards the external acoustic meatus and the base will be upward. The apex will be downward, the base will be upward. And the parotid duct. This is the parotid duct. The parotid duct emerging from the anterior border of the parotid gland. This is the anterior border. So the where the parotid duct is present, this is the anterior border. and the superficial or lateral surface is smooth. This surface is the superficial or the lateral surface. This surface is smooth, and the medial surface is, see, there are fossa and ridges, so this surface is rough. So for the anatomical position, the apex will be downward, the base will be upward, the parotid duct emerging from the anterior border, the superficial or the smooth surface will be laterally, and the rough surface will be medially. So this is the parotid duct. This is the parotid gland. This is the right sided parotid gland. Okay, then there are some structures. They are passing or emerging through the different parts of the parotid gland. From the apex, the structure emerging through the parotid gland is the cervical branch of the facial nerve, the anterior division of the retromandibular vein, and the formation of the external jugular vein. These are from the apex. Then the structure emerging from the base. The structures are the temporal branches of the facial nerve, then the auriculotemporal nerve, and the superficial temporal vessels. This structure emerging or passing through the base. Then the superficial or lateral surface. The superficial or lateral surface, this surface from outside to inward, at first the skin, then the superficial fascia, then the posterior fiber of the platysma muscle, then the superficial lamellae of the false capsule. In the superficial surface or the lateral surface, there are present the superficial group of lymph node of the parotid gland and the branches of the great auricular nerve. The great auricular nerve also supply the angle of the mandible. Then the anteromedial surface. The anteromedial surface, there is a groove, and the groove is formed by the posterior border of the ramus of the mandible. So the anteromedial surface is related to the posterior border of the ramus of the mandible, then the masseter muscle, the medial pterygoid muscle, and there is a groove. The outer part of the groove is for the branches of the facial nerve, and the inner part is the groove for the maxillary artery. Then the posteromedial surface. The posteromedial surface of the parotid gland is extensive. In the posteromedial surface, see this, the posteromedial surface, there are present two processes, the mastoid process and the styloid process. In the posteromedial surface, the mastoid process present with its attachment like the sternomastoid muscle, the posterior belly of the digastric, and the styloid process and the muscle related to the styloid process. And in between these two processes, there are present the transverse process of the atlas and the rectus capitis lateralis muscle. Deep to the styloid process, there in front of this area present the internal carotid artery, and back to the area present the internal jugular vein, and in between these two present the last four cranial nerves, the 9, 10, 11 and 12. Okay, then in the posteromedial surface, the facial nerve emerging from the stylomastoid foramen, then the facial nerve piercing this posteromedial surface, and then the facial nerve comes in the parotid gland, and the external carotid artery also present lower part of the posteromedial surface. So the lateral surfaces, the anteromedial surfaces and the posteromedial surfaces and its relations. Then the border. This is the anterior border. The structure which is present or emerging through the anterior border, the zygomatic branch of the facial nerve, then the transverse facial vessels, then sometimes the upper branch of the buccal nerve, then the parotid duct, the lower branch of the buccal nerve, and the marginal mandibular nerve. So from above to below, at first the zygomatic branch of the facial nerve, then the transverse facial vessels, the upper branch of the buccal nerve, the parotid duct, then the lower branch of the buccal nerve and the marginal mandibular nerve. Sometimes where the parotid duct is present, above this the accessory parotid duct also may be present. So the upper branch of the buccal nerve is present above the parotid duct and the lower branch of the buccal nerve present lower the parotid duct. So these structures are for the anterior border. Then the structure for the posterior border. The structure for the posterior border are, the posterior border are present on the sternomastoid muscle, and the structure emerging from the posterior border are the posterior auricular nerve, branches of the facial nerve and the posterior auricular vessels. Then the medial border. The medial border is attached to the pharynx. So medial border is called the pharyngeal border, and the medial border divide the anteromedial surface and the posteromedial surface, and the anterior border divide the anteromedial surface from the lateral surface. Okay, then there are some processes of the parotid gland, because the parotid gland is present over the parotid region, but some process extend over the parotid region, and these the processes are the facial processes, then the pterygoid processes, the accessory parotid duct, then the glenoid processes and the pre and post styloid processes. The facial processes is the triangular extension present along the parotid duct. Then the accessory parotid duct, these processes, this is also the triangular process, and these processes sometimes they separate from the facial processes and present above the parotid duct. Then the pterygoid process. The pterygoid process is the deep process, and the pterygoid process also present from the ramus of the mandible to the medial pterygoid muscle. So this position is for the pterygoid processes. Then the glenoid processes. The glenoid process also the extension of the parotid gland, and the glenoid process is present from the external acoustic meatus to the posterior part of the capsule of the temporomandibular joint. And the styloid process. The styloid process from the parotid gland, there are the processes. The process which is present in front of the styloid process, this is called the pre-styloid process, and which is present posterior to the styloid process, this is the posterior styloid process. The pre-styloid process is related to the internal carotid artery, and the posterior styloid process, the post-styloid process is related to the internal jugular vein. Then some structure present through the parotid gland, or some structure passing through the parotid gland. This structure from outside to inward, the facial nerve and its branches, then the retromandibular vein and the external carotid artery. So in this cadaver, the facial nerve after emerging from the stylomastoid foramen, then the facial nerve goes downward and forward, and the facial nerve travels 1 centimeter before piercing the posteromedial surface of the parotid gland. Then the facial nerve piercing the posteromedial surface of the parotid gland and passing 1 centimeter through the parotid gland. And here the facial nerve divided into two parts, the temporofacial branch, the temporofacial trunk and the cervicofacial trunk. The temporofacial trunk goes upward and divided into two parts, the temporal branch and the zygomatic branch. And the cervicofacial trunk divided into the buccal branch, the marginal mandibular branch and the cervical branch. So in the anterior border of the parotid gland, these structures, the branches of the facial nerve, they emerges and forms the goose foot like plexus. So this called the pes anserinus. The structure, the branches of the facial nerve, they emerging from the anterior border. and form the branches of the plexus of the facial nerve. Then the branches of the facial nerve, they divide the parotid gland into superficial and deep part. Then the lobule or lobes of the parotid gland, they are connected with the isthmus. So if there is coronal section of the parotid gland, the parotid gland is like H shape.